A very good morning to the students of Standard 9. Please pay attention to this poem, The Village School Master, in English Literature, Chapter 3, Part 3. In the previous two videos, you had learned about teachers, the roles, responsibilities, qualities of teachers. And we had studied about the poet Oliver Goldsmith and his works. We had also studied the first 8 lines of the poem, The Village Schoolmaster, wherein we understood the characteristics of the village schoolmaster. Let's continue with the next. Now look here you have the great Indian teachers and their teachings. Teachings are not mentioned here, but you can see the teachers, they are from the spiritual field. We now move on to the next few lines. The village school master. Full well they laughed with counterfeited glee at all his jokes, for many a joke had he. Full well the busy whisper circling round conveyed the dismal tidings when he frowned. Yet he was kind, or if severe in aught, the love he bore to his learning was in fault. The village all declared how much he knew. 'Twas certain he could write and cipher too. Please look at the last line. It was. I is missing, so you'll pronounce it as twas. So here we have the children laughing with counterfeited glee, with pretension, pretending that they were all very happy or they enjoyed the jokes cracked by the schoolmaster during the class. They acted as if they enjoyed his jokes and laughed at it loudly, though they followed nothing about it at times. This was in an effort not to displease him and get into his bad books. Full well the busy whisper circling round, and it was in this laughter that they chose to send some information or some news around by whispering, till the whole class was distracted and disturbed. Conveyed the dismal tidings when he frowned. Conveyed means made it very clear to the students. The dismal tidings. Tidings means news or information. Dismal means miserable. It made him miserable. Whom? The teacher, the master. And what disturbed him? The news or the information they were circling around in whispers. And this was very clear from the expression of his face, wherein they could see that he frowned. Frowned is knitting of the eyebrows, showing the irritation on the face. Yet he was kind. Yes, even though the children played this kind of a game of whispering during the class and disturbing him, he was still kind. Or if severe in aught, but suppose they irritated him beyond to a higher degree, the love he bore to his learning was in fault. Even though he was patient, even though he was kind, it irritated him greatly because he had a passion for teaching and he wanted the children to understand the importance of this education that was being given to them. He wanted them to understand that there is no way they can get along in the class disturbing him and are not allowing him to proceed with what he was teaching. The love he bore to his learning, that is, he understood the importance of education and this was his fault. This was his fault means he could not accept if anybody disturbed the class and would not listen to what he was trying to tell. The village all declared how much he knew. The villagers, they were full of appreciation for the schoolmaster. They felt that he knew so much. He was such a learned man. Declared means announced. sort of told everybody, "My, what a learned man he is." It was certain he could write and cipher too. And they were all sure that he could not only read and write, he could cipher too, code secret messages. He could code, he could read secret messages, and he could code very well. So this village of Lissoy was full of awe. The villagers in this village were full in awe about the knowledge that was there in the schoolmaster. So you can see, though he was a stern person, he was kind and he was very much interested in teaching the children because he understood the value of education, and his dream was that everyone should be educated so that they cannot be fooled easily in the world. That was the word-to-word meaning. Now let's see the summary of this. The children laughed, pretending joy. The schoolmaster cracked a lot of jokes in class, making the students laugh. The children used to whisper among themselves or disturb the master. These disturbances in the form of whispers irritated the master, and it was indicated by the miserable frown on his face. He was very strict, right? He was kind in spite of all this. His strictness increased to a higher degree when he found that the students were disinterested in studies. He had a great passion for teaching and wanted that the students learn and get educated, but their indifference towards studies disappointed him to a great extent. His love to learning and educating the students was his great interest. All the villagers declared that he was a learned, knowledgeable person. He could write, read and code, or read and write secret messages. So with all these qualities, these were the qualities that were present in him. On one side, he was a stern person. On the other side, he was kind. He loved teaching. He wanted his students to be educated, but he tolerated some of their plays and some of their tricks which they played on him. He was friendly. He was kind. He was he had good knowledge, was very knowledgeable, and he wanted the children to study well. So the only weakness that he had, his fault, was that he appreciated those children who were keen on studying and never approved of any disturbances in the class when he was teaching. To summarize, the schoolmaster, though stern, was a lover of jokes and humor. The strict and loving side of the schoolmaster. The passion of the teacher and his love for his students. The admiration of the villagers for the schoolmaster. So these are some of the points we went through here. He was considered to be good in reading, writing, and had other skills too. Now we move on to the question section. Here you have, explain the meaning of the second stanza. Now children, I had already told you there is no stanza in this poem. I mean 9 to 16 lines. Why did the children laugh? What disturbed the schoolmaster the most? How did he react to this? What was his fault? What was his fault? His expectation that the children would listen to him patiently, learn. But they were all children and they did not have that maturity to be able to understand what he was trying to tell them. Isn't it? So he let it pass at times, even though he frowned, even though he disagreed with that behavior of theirs. He said, okay, they are children, they will learn at a later time. So he was strict, He was kind. This is something that you have to notice. And all this is the observation made by Oliver Goldsmith. And he remembers his schoolmaster with full gratitude. He started seeing the good side of the master along with his sternness and understood that whatever he did was for the welfare of the children. I hope you have understood, children. Thank you. Sai Ram.